The views and opinions expressed by guests on this podcast are solely their own and do not represent the position of the host, this show, or any organization either party is affiliated with. All content is shared purely for educational and inspirational purposes. Nothing discussed here constitutes professional advice. Listeners are encouraged to independently verify any information before acting on it. The host is not responsible for any outcomes resulting from guest statements. By listening, you agree that you are solely responsible for how you use the information shared. Welcome to the Tech Sharmit podcast, where technology is not just news, but the roadmap to the future. This is a space where we explore the latest tech trends, AI, startups, gadgets, and the ideas that redefine the way we think. Leading this conversation is Amit Sharma, globally recognized as Tech Sharmit. A technologist from Bharat, Amit brings an Indian perspective to the global technology landscape. With deep technical expertise and strong industry insight, and for his contributions and impact within the global tech community, he has been recognized with several prestigious honors, including Google Developer Expert, Microsoft MVP, IBM Champion, and Planet Mainframe Influencer. Through this podcast, he shares practical knowledge, real-world perspectives, and globally relevant thinking designed to help you stay ahead in an ever-evolving technology landscape. Before we begin, make sure to subscribe to the Tech Sharmit channel to stay updated with future episodes. And if you're looking to level up your skills, don't forget to explore the Tech Sharmit digital course book in the description box, where you'll find thousands of free programming courses curated to help you grow as a developer. So plug in your headphones and join us as we begin today's episode of the Tech Sharmit podcast.
Hello everyone, welcome back to the Tech Sharmit podcast. Today I'm here with another very special guest, Luiz Carneiro, who is joining us from Germany. If I talk about Luiz, then he is a PhD in physics, a solution engineer, and a well-known Google developer expert. His journey brings together scientific thinking, software engineering, data engineering, automation, and modern technology practices. So in today's episode, there are a lot of things that we are going to explore with Luiz. But before we get started with all these things, I would like to thank Luiz for joining us today in this episode and for coming here to share his expertise. So thank you once again. And now I request you to please initiate the discussion by telling us a bit about yourself.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Amit. Thanks a lot for the introduction. Yeah, so my name is Luiz. I am a software engineer. I'm also a PhD in physics. I'm also Google Developer Group's lead, Google Developer Expert for cloud and AI. But actually what matter most is what I would define myself as this curiosity for always learning. I mean, it's independent of the title. I'm always curious now, have been working tech for the last 7 years as a programmer in different titles, but software engineering in general. Now, of course, a bit of AI engineering. We are all surfing this wave, right, of AI. Really happy to be here. It's really an honor. I'm really impressed by all your contributions, your YouTube channel, 2 videos every day for the last 4 years. It's just mind-blowing. It's really impressive. Congratulations also. Congratulations for the podcast now approaching the 200 episodes.
Yes. Thank you so much, Luiz, for sharing these all information. And I also really appreciate the way you shared all the required thing that we need to make this community aware about the technologies and thing. And I'm sure audience will also get to know about these contribution or advocacy activities of Luiz by the time we will proceed with the further discussion. But before we talk about your technical expertise areas, let me ask you the initial days, because a lot of people see physics and programming completely two different things, right? But in your journey, it's your professional career is blend of both the terms. So what's the one mental habit from your physics training that you use every day in your as a developer in IT industry?
Perfect. Thank you. Thank you for the question. If I had to take a top one, this would be approximation and order of magnitude estimation. So I've studied physics, bachelor, master, the PhD, and I was always getting closer and closer to astronomy. So actually, my final project in the PhD, it was in astrophysics. So I was daily, when studying astrophysics, dealing with completely different orders of magnitude. And when I saw, for example, this concept of ON estimation in software development, it clicked automatically. So there are this kind of skill of estimating what the order of magnitude you are thinking about in a problem, in a program, which I see totally related in both sides. I mean, they both come in the source from mathematics, right? So it's not that the both fields are completely set apart, but of
Mm.
course, the day-to-day work of a physicist is completely different from a software engineering. Though I'm completely sure that many of the skills are related. Actually, I started programming along the my studies in physics since the bachelor, and I always had some contact with software engineering. However, when I moved to Germany, I come originally from Brazil. This became then really the same tools and programming on a daily basis. So I bridged the two awards at some point, and I'm totally happy with the career I have developed so far. Yeah.
Okay, all right. So, like we can see that your journey was started with physics, and then you came into the IT industry. But from there, like how you transition, like how come you moved from these all areas to a Google Developer Group community lead, and also you contributed as a Google Developer Expert, which are closer to the developer relations and closely related to the communication and intensive social contact. So what was the plan in
Totally.
that moment, like which inspired you, which sparked your interest into these areas?
Cool. Thanks again for the question. Um, Completely valid, interesting, because I think for many, many years we have seen a software developer, a programmer, as someone who works alone in a
Mhm.
dark room with his computing hacking systems. And now, as we have AI taking more and more of the hard skills
Yeah.
side, so code became cheaper as it used to be. The what we can do completely different from AI is this conversation, talking to people, learning from each other, and this skill, in my opinion, became even more valuable.
Yes.
So for me, being honest, it was a challenge when I started with the Google Developer Groups, when I recently joined the Google Developer Expert, to develop this side of having more social contact, talking to people, and exchanging ideas. I took this actually as a challenge because when I initiated in software development, I also had this picture of working alone, but more and more we have to develop, in my opinion, the side of acting more as a society community. So I'm quite happy to have to take to have taken this challenge along my journey. But yeah, I can definitely see where your question comes from this initial picture. We have,
Yeah.
but I'm a truly believer of learning in community. It's more fruitful for career development, and that's how actually I took it as a challenge. And I'm totally happy also how things have rolled out.
Okay. And I think this is something, this is the point where I am also agree with you 100%. Because even yesterday also, like there was one event from Google for developers, built with AI. And I was giving
Cool.
the sessions on AI related things. So
Wow. Cool.
there also, like we concluded at the end that it's not only the technology that will help us, it's of course a networking, a platform we need, in-person events where we can collaborate with each other, because technology can be learned
Yeah.
from anywhere nowadays. Every courses are
Exactly.
available, but that networking is
Exactly.
very important. So I think this is the
Exactly.
perfect way to learn and collaborate with each other.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Can I wouldn't add one single word to your response as well. I completely agree, 100%. And yeah, I mean, as I told in the very beginning, you are the one posting 2 videos every day for the last 4 years. This is amazing, huge contributions. So congratulations also from my side. And yeah, let's see how this where this journey leads us.
Yeah. Okay. So now, Luis, I just want to know about some scenarios, maybe from the time when you were doing your PhD. So, was there any
Perfect.
specific problem, or maybe the project during that tenure that where you thought like, okay, this is a thing that can be solved by a computer. Like a computer could
Mm.
actually solve this better than I can do it manually by the hands. So, anything that came into your mind, or maybe you can recall anything?
Perfect. Perfect. Understood the question. Very good one. So again, let me try to take a top one. Okay, already have in mind. So I finished the PhD. One of the possibilities to finish the PhD in Germany is to publish three scientific papers. And for publishing these papers, of course, there is some work that needs to be done, some new work which needs to be, some new conclusions
Mhm.
which needs to be achieved. And for that, it was absolutely needed to have a programmatic way of doing data analysis. As I told, I finished the PhD in astrophysics, so I had a large sample of giant stars to analyze. Just to contextualize, giant stars are stars with 80 to 100 times the solar mass. So really big stars, 100 times bigger than the sun. You can imagine like that. And I needed to run many analyses in this big sample of stars observations I had.
Okay.
So it was the first time in my life and my professional development that it got really clear the importance of having a programmatic system, that we can run the same analysis with the same variables again and again, of course, changing something here and there to understand how it acts, how it reproduces what we see in nature. And this is totally related to programming, right? So we also write codes, we write tests exactly to prove that that system, that code is acting as we imagined or as we hoped. So this programmatic way of analyzing data is definitely a bridge which I see between these two worlds. Yeah.
Okay. So, Luis, at this moment, before we move forward for your technical expertise areas, I just want to know about one thing for the students. Let's say if someone is there who is also following the similar kind of yours, maybe they are also from the physics background, or maybe from some non-technical field, and they are looking forward to transition their career from into IT industry. So in that case, what do you
Perfect.
think? Like, what could be the common pitfalls for them that they need to improve, or the do's and don'ts for them, so that they can easily transition from one phase to another phase?
That's a valid question. Yeah, like it a lot. Yes, so there is okay. So there is a pitfall. I would say one good thing, one good habit to keep when coming to achieve. And I will try to, in the way of my response, I think another that we should change the mindset. So
Mhm.
the one to keep is the way we learn mathematics. How we learn mathematics through a lot of exercise,
Yeah.
tries, and you keep doing exercise, you keep doing exercise. In programming, this is the best way of learning. So you keep building projects, building projects, and you face challenges. Some scenario you didn't see. I see a really close relation between both, and something to change the mindset when you are in academia or in the bachelor. We kind of have a defined curriculum in the beginning of each course, right? So you go through the steps. when you are doing a software development course, it's the same. You also have that curriculum, but it's normally not exactly what you find in the real world. In the real world, there is always some surprise. So you will fall in some a system which was already written a long time ago. You will see something not working exactly as you
Yes.
expected. I mean, bug exists a lot in programming. It's kind of hard to find a bug in mathematics, so you have to be prepared, right, to challenge your solution time and time again. When we are doing more mathematics, but also physics, we call here in Germany like the nature sciences, right? I think
Yeah.
there is this terms in English in general. So things are defined, and that's 2 plus 2 is 4, and that's it. But when
Hmm.
we come to programming, there are so many surprising spaces for there's so many spaces for surprises. And now we are talking about a lot about hallucination. So we see a response from AI, we tend to just trust that. And yeah, so this is a kind of mindset of always challenging your solution, which is definitely something needed in software development.
Okay, so I think this is a
Mhm.
perfect, you can say, the example that students can easily relate. Even if they have this kind of habit, whether it's in when they were in, they are in their academic say time and they are practicing mathematics, and then they switch their career to programming and learn in the same way. It will also help them in machine learning, because nowadays everyone is preparing for the artificial intelligence. So your mathematic background will also help you there, and that habit of doing practice will also help you and resonate with you at the time when you are going to build the projects. So that's a great
Perfect.
example you just shared with everyone. Okay. Now, Luis will talk about some of your expertise area, but in a very simple
So
terminology. So let's say if someone is there who is listening to this for the very first time, for example, CI/CD pipeline, right? So you are
perfect. Let's go.
frequently working with this thing. So let's say if someone is there who have never heard about this term of CI/CD pipeline. So could you
Mm.
please explain them like why it is so important for the IT industry, and why
Perfect.
non-engineering background person should also care about it?
Perfect. Cool. Thanks for the question. Good question. Also provocative. Reflecting a bit, sometimes, and I would say but most of the times, it's good to just look the title of things. So CICD stands for continuous integration and continuous delivery. I think when we look at this name, it already says a lot. So we want to have established way of delivering our systems, right? You are developing a program, a script as it is. Um, you want to be sure that it's doing exactly what you expect. You want to
Yes.
have a way which will work time and time again when you trust your solution to deliver it to the public, to the world, right? When you develop a new feature, when you extend your solution, you have that defined way of delivering your solution to the public, and that's exactly where CI/CD pipelines come in. So if there are many ways of testing it. I have already cited unit test, integration test. In this case, when we are speaking more about the data engineering side, we will speak about ETL scripts for data. But this the complexity of it can
Hmm.
increase, I would say, indefinitely. But to have this base concept of having a pipeline, so steps that if I follow it, it will happen exactly what I expect. Delivering a software, testing a software, testing also if the data that you need for that software is available. So those are principles of a continuous integration and continuous delivery that one should keep in mind when starting the topic or studying it. So this is what I would say, trying to touch fundamental points, but not going so that deep yet on the complexity that it may involve.
All right. Okay, so now we'll take this discussion to the next stage. We talked from the perspective of students or from the person who are from the non-technical background. Now, let's say if someone is there who is actively working in the IT industry and his work is
Mm,
moving around the CI/CD pipeline or for a data engineering projects, right? So my
perfect.
question is regarding your day-to-day approaches or the principle that you usually follow when you are dealing with CI/CD pipeline, and what are the things that you feel that yes, these are some non-negotiable stages for the CI/CD that
Mm,
you won't negotiate at any cost, otherwise it will impact your overall project. So what are your principles for that?
perfect. Understood. Good question. Let's try to take top three in this case. Top one is data. Top one is data quality. That will always be, in my opinion, the most important things. We tend to think in data as the data of a person, which can also be so contact or name of people, but data is a larger concept. So if I am building a software in this pipeline, so along the steps, I will need my code also to be involved on it, and the instructions I need to, for example, download the dependencies that code has.
Mm-hmm.
So everything can be seen as data. So each of those, and to be sure that that data is available where you need, when you need, is for me the most fundamental part. So otherwise, you cannot start anything,
Right.
right? So, and as the second is how reproducible it is. So, why we established these steps? We also want to avoid the repetitive tasks, right?
Correct.
So, always to do things by hand. We want to have that pipeline working. Um, for I mean most of the time. So hopefully you have a really good trustability on it. So this is the reproducible part, no, which needs to be there. Otherwise, you are always going back to the same work of redefining the
Right.
steps. It just means that your CI/CD pipeline is not so stable. Um, and the third is something that I always need to remember myself as software engineer. As we gather more and more knowledge, we tend to fall, or I tend to fall, really fast in over engineering.
Mm-hmm.
So we just add complexity that at some point it gets hard to come back to it, understand what was our thoughts. So to make things lean, is for me also of a great value, that we can, when needed, we can understand easily what problem we had, right? To have some observability in place. If something, or alerts even, if something bad happened, we receive a really good error message of
Hmm.
what happened. That makes life a lot easier and saves a lot of time. In the end of day, we have this pipelines where, because we want to save some time, right? We want to have some automatized pattern
Yeah.
in our daily work. So yeah, this would be the top 3 points I would take.
Okay. So we talked about the repetitive work, right? And there is another important term that is for automation, right? And we all know that nowadays we are trying to build some agents for the automation process, and there are a lot more things moving around the automation itself. So where do you think like automation is genuinely transforming the data engineering right now versus just being the hype? Because
Mm.
after I think Claude and these things, everyone is placing the stickers of AI in every product, right? So is it really helping us or it's a hype?
That's a good question. I mean, aren't we all asking the same question every day to ourselves? I don't think it's a hype at all. I can't imagine we will come back to programming or to working as it was 5, 6 years ago without LLMs, right? Um, no, the tool is there to stay, in my opinion. I can imagine nowadays or in the future without it. The question which stays in my mind is then nowadays where to use, but most important, where not to use it.
Correct.
So agents are there, yeah, revolutionizing the world, the way we work, the automatization part of our life, actually, and not only in software development. We are seeing more and more agents in every product, as you just stated, and I totally agree. Um, so, as I said, it's and also automation, right? It's more about making tasks easier, that things can be reproduced quicker. You don't need to spend so much of your intellectual time, so thinking time, you can delegate that away. When a task has this background, when you are sure that you could state it
Mm.
in clear steps, you can reproduce it as much time as you wanted. So most probably this is a task that could be delegated, right?
Correct.
And in data cleaning, data engineering, this is a lot. This is present a lot. We are normally doing the same work to have that quality of data we expect, and I see these fields that could be delegated to AI, those processes. However, there is another part when you already have the analysis done and you need some interpretation of it.
Mhm.
Well, I think so. Again, going go back quicker to the beginning of our conversation, this relation of physics, the academia,
Yes.
and the software development. I believe there in the storytelling part is where we humans can play a very big role, right? I like a lot a sentence which says, humans don't trust the data, they trust the story behind it. So it's way more comfortable to tell you the interpretation of a table than to give you a paper with a table on it that you have to read the data, you have to develop the
Correct.
interpretation of it. So I see these 2 points where AI can help and agents can be a lot helpful. But there is a ingredient on top, the interpretation, again, the communication that we have also spoken about, the storytelling, which the human touch is still extremely valuable, and I just see it increasing.
Yeah, it completely makes sense the way you have explained the need as well as the area that can be again, like it is something the human touch is needed even if you are working in IT industry or somewhere else. It at the end, like human presence is needed. So but yeah, at the same time we are also supposed to adopt the AI technology so that we can upgrade our work by that time, and we will reduce all those non needed work or repetitive work. So that is also a key to success.
Exactly.
All right. So now, moving ahead, Luis, we'll talk a bit about the different domains of business domain on which you have shared your expertise and you worked on.
Cool.
So, like you have moved through MER, GmbH, Trafactive GmbH, and the Sport One GmbH. So, what do you think? Like working with these three unique different domains, what changed most in your day-to-day engineering work as you move between them consecutively?
Cool. Thanks a lot for the question. Yeah, so there is one part about software engineering, about engineering in general, which sometimes it's a bit hidden behind the hard skills itself, which is the domain understanding. So, in the end of the days, we are solving a issue for for a branch, for a company, for a client. And we need some understanding of that business, right? So how it works, or what are the most important things for this client, which needs to be there. And yes, so I have worked in different branches, different, completely different companies, completely different team setups. So companies with more than 1,000 employees to companies with 10. And the atmosphere is completely different, but as much as you understand about the domain, about what that company does, about what that company sells, your solution will be automatically better.
Correct.
And this is a challenge that I've always brought to my day-to-day work, also, which I definitely would like to communicate if someone still doesn't have this view of software engineering. It's not only be seated in your keyboard and typing code. It's also understanding what other teams are doing, what are the work of others, what's the value, what's the culture of the company. And so, in my opinion, this is something that has helped me a lot along my career. And being in all these different atmospheres help also a lot to have different views of
Yeah.
all the different possibilities that business or the real world has to offer.
All right. Okay. Now we will talk a bit about one interesting thing that I noticed on your social media platform, and I think this is
Okay.
a proof that you are not only contributing for the code, but you are also giving the statement regarding the cold as well. So
Okay.
there was let me put it another way. So as a physicist, have you ever worked out why the crab fan tastes better in the middle of the miserable winter? So is it just a comfortable food logic, or is there something almost thermodynamics about craving sugar and warmth when it is cold?
Oh, wow, that's the end is perfect. The thermodynamics. I must assume that the thermodynamics behind it, I never stop it exactly to think about. I will reflecting in the next episode. I come to you with the thermodynamics between eating sugar to the human body. That was a bit definitely a good reflection to have. I think everywhere in the world, you are now in India, right?
Yes, right.
Yes. So let me explain what krapfen is. So krapfen is basically a bread, a sweet bread with some marmalade inside. So some
Yeah.
sweet, creamy inside. I would definitely believe that India there is some sweet which are close to it. Some bread with
Yeah.
sweet inside. What would be the name there of something like that? Some food like that?
Yeah, like kind of muffins you are talking about, like
Kind
muffins are
of
there.
muffins, perfect,
Yeah.
perfect, perfect. Like muffins. That's a really good comparison. In Brazil, we also have something like that, which I love.
Okay.
And I am originally from Rio de Janeiro, no, from Brazil, and I moved to Munich, Germany. I arrived here in the winter, and the winter season here is the Krapfen season. So exactly this sweet. So I found in Krapfen a really good relation with my childhood in Brazil.
Okay.
So I definitely love Krapfen. But the city I come from, so my hometown is really, really warm. So the German winter is something that always scares me. And this is really comfortable to have some food to remember the sun of my hometown, and that's why I definitely love Clapton. Yeah, but you note that very well. It's written on my LinkedIn, my bio,
Yeah.
and I think on GitHub. So thanks for noticing it.
So I think now you have shared one very interesting thing, so that those who are enjoying this podcast, they know like what to have while enjoying this discussion,
You
so they
have
can bring it
if you
up.
exactly, and if you come to Germany as well, don't
Yeah,
forget to eat a Krapfen.
correct. All right. So now, like we talked about technical things, we talk about your approach to different projects and domains as well. Now we'll talk a bit about, because there are plenty of technical things that we can discuss here, but we are short on time, so I just want to take few more questions, and this is
Let's go.
regarding the place you belong from. So as you mentioned, like originally you are from
Brazil.
Brazil, and currently you are working in Germany. So what's the best
Yes.
thing about maybe we can talk first about Brazil that you feel proud to share with the rest of the world?
Mm,
And what is
yeah.
one thing that is close to your heart?
Good. Love it, the question. I have lived in two cities so far, or
Okay.
Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, or in Munich, Germany. Now I am here for 12 years. I became German also, so nowadays I'm Brazilian and German. I really love both cities. They are completely different from culture, from all the differences you can imagine, from climate. In Brazil, we have a lot closer social contact than you would experience when coming to Germany.
Okay.
However, in Germany, there is also a trust in people, which has been for me always enlightening. So here, if someone says something, you can definitely trust that that will happen the way it was described. So there is an exact way of working, the precise way of dealing with challenges, with tasks, and this is something that I definitely care in Germany. The how serious things are taken, the ownership. I think this is the key word. So the ownership of challenges, of tasks that I've learned here. And also something to add on top, my professional career, so working in software development, has always been in Germany for me. I have always worked in Germany. So there is this way of working, the ownership, the seriosity that there is behind work here, which I will definitely care with me forever.
Okay. All right. Okay, so now before we conclude the discussion, another question is regarding the support of network, because we all know that behind every successful person there is a core support of system, right? So for
Yeah.
you in your journey, when you look back, who were the key people around you who had a defining impact on your journey so far, who have made your work much more easier, a lot of fun? So who were those people?
Cool. Cool. Thanks for the question. I will call out top three again. It's list that comes to my mind. This is always hard because I will certainly forget someone which is really, really important.
Yeah.
Um, there is now I am a lot in. I mean, not now, but for a couple of years, integrating this Google ecosystem, right?
Yeah.
And Google values a lot this contribution between developers. And there is a guy in Lagos, Portugal, Felipe Lorenzo. So he's also a Go developer expert for web. And when through him was my first contact with developer relation. So he's doing developer relation as title. And so I like it a lot. This way of sharing knowledge. Not It's not only about going to a stage and teaching. It's also a lot about absorbing, right? So also learning with others. So he was my very first inspiration to going through this path, which I am extremely thankful. In in Google itself, closer to Google, so with Google Cloud, there is also two persons working developer relation, which I definitely take as role models, and is something that I would advise people to get inspired, by other really good professionals. And one is Abdel Sioa. I think
Mm-hmm.
his how it is said, his last name. Originally, he's from Morocco. He's working a lot in the Google Kubernetes engine, and he has communication skills, which for me is always inspiring.
Okay.
And also Daniela, I think it's Petrutsky, her last name, and it's exactly by the same. They have a way of communication which I really get inspired.
All right. So yeah, it's good to know like how people support each other in the community, and yeah, that's how IT works. So yeah, thank you so much, Luis, for joining us in this
Thanks,
episode
Amit. Thanks
and
for
for
the
sharing your
time.
expertise with everyone.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm always there. Just drop me a message, and always a pleasure talking to you. Thanks a lot, and congratulations again for the work you have been developing.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.